Welcome, everyone, to season 2 and first episode of the First and Fifth Son podcast. And like we told y'all last season, we're going to start off with a bang. And we got no other than Mr. Christopher Everett. Man, what can I say that hasn't been said about this great man? Producer, director, doing a lot of things. Chris, we are really honored to have you on our podcast, man. Thanks for agreeing to be out here with us.
Thank you guys for having me on. I really appreciate it.
All right. We're not gonna drag this too long with all the jokes and pleasantries because we know time is money and we got to get you on time. So I'm just gonna jump off as the first son and ask my first question. Again, first son, R.V. Baker, also known as Pony B. I want to know, how did you get started into directing documentaries?
Oh, well, man, I got my start. I would say it was more being in front of the camera more than anything.
Okay.
I started out doing acting and modeling, way back in the day, back when I was in college and right after college. I was about 100 and, I was about 200 pounds lighter back in those days. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But yeah, that's how I kind of got my whole start in this whole film game, was doing modeling, doing acting. And then, once I got my feet wet, I decided to move to Atlanta, Georgia, and just try to, take my game to the next level. It didn't work out when I moved there, but I learned a lot, working on, being in front of the camera for a lot of independent film projects, making a lot of good connections. And so I decided just to start my own film company and make my own projects. And so that's how I kind of got started, and then I knew documentary was an easier way to start off. You didn't really need a lot of crew like that. You didn't need actors. You just had to have a good story. And so I was able to kind of build a crew around me. And, Wilmington on Fire was my first film.
Oh, man.
As well. It was my first documentary. And so I was just lucky and blessed to have those experiences early on in front of the camera and make those connections along the way as well.
Man, I appreciate you sharing that. And I know my brother was pointing his finger because we got a lot of similarities with the modeling / acting. But I want to circle back to your company. What's the name of your film company?
Speller Street Films.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Y'all look for that. I'm going to put that up on a screen for Speller Street Films. I see my brother is itching to throw his question on. So go ahead, Big Barker.
Well, I was just thinking about the thought process that you go through when you kind of get with these people, because I listened to the very heart-wrenching stories that you that the guys told in the Wilmington documentary, man. It was a lot of sad stuff, man. And it kind of give me the chills every time I look at something that dealt with segregation and murder of poor Black, well, not poor, but intelligent, innocent African Americans, man. It just does something to me, man. So what's the thought process and, what goes into all of that? I know it's an emotional tie also that makes you bring that energy out of those people and listen to those stories and put it in your words, man. So what are you thinking when you feeling all that energy coming off of them, man?
It's tough, man. Even when I did Wilmington on Fire, my first documentary, very emotional. It was a documentary about the 1898 Wilmington Massacre. And for your listeners who aren't familiar with that story, the Wilmington Massacre was a coup d'etat that happened in Wilmington, North Carolina on November 10th, 1898. They pretty much slaughtered African Americans at will, stole property, and really just changed the whole landscape, not only in Wilmington, but throughout North Carolina as well. So if people are familiar with Tulsa, the Tulsa Massacre, we've seen, several iterations of that with Lovecraft Country, The Watchmen over the past few years. And even before that, John Singleton's Rosewood kind of hinted on the Rosewood Massacre. So, that Rosewood film, that really inspired me, man. That film inspired me to do documentaries. Also, a documentary called Banished by Marco Williams, where he focuses on 3 other racial massacres that happened. It was like 2 in Georgia and 1 in Arkansas. That came out in 2007. Great documentary, but those films really gave me the inspiration to do these type of works. And, doing these emotional films, man, it takes a toll on you, because you're hearing the story, especially when you talk to like the direct descendants of people who actually experienced this, like Dr. Lewin Manley, who's in the film, whose grandfather's newspaper building was burned. So I think it's really emotional, man, when you talk to direct descendants, because they're the direct lineage to a lot of this. And man, just seeing how their lives was just changed, man, you know, because of this happening. And then hearing the personal stories of hearing how his grandparents met in Wilmington and how his grandfather, like some of the stuff we didn't get to include in the film, but just hearing how his grandparents met, how his grandfather, you know, had a great social life in Wilmington. He was a church guy. He taught like Sunday school class every Sunday, you know, just hearing those personal things about, you know, their ancestors, man. And then knowing that I'm doing what I need to do, you know, telling this story in honor for them. And then also with another project I'm doing, a martial arts documentary about Grandmaster Vic Moore, you know, his story as well, you know, just a lot of stuff he's been going through over the years, not getting his proper due. And then he's going through a lot of health stuff right now, financial stuff. So, you know, as a documentarian, you're documenting this, but, you know, these folks really become like your family as well, you know, because they call me all the time, not even to talk about the film. They just wanted to talk about life stuff in general. So you become close to these folks and you just become a part of their family as well. So doing documentaries is tough because you have to deal with that part of the
that emotional attachment, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's a beautiful job, man. Thanks for that. Was a great answer too, man.
Man,
all right, Arf.
I can't say too much about Wilmington on Fire. This is how Chris and I first met. You did a preview of the movie in Fayetteville when I was still in North Carolina. Blew me away. I heard little things about it, but the way you put it together and then to have the question and answer after that was equally powerful. Now, I know you have well, before I talk about Wilmington on Fire 2, I want the listeners to know, first and foremost, you should buy Wilmington on Fire. You should have that DVD in your collection. That's a historical document that you want to have. But for those that are not ready to buy it, like I have 2 copies. This is actually streaming on Prime Video, right? Yeah,
Amazon. We're on Amazon and we on Quelle TV, which is a Black-owned streaming service as well. So check it out, either one.
Right on.
Yeah, do yourself a favor and look at that movie. Get that movie, sit around with your family, because to me, it is on the same level as when Roots came out. You know,
I appreciate that.
It's eye-opening. And then with current events and stuff that happen, you can see that history will try to repeat itself if we don't pay attention. So I got a little long-winded on that. I wanted to know a little bit more about that Wilmington on Fire too, because I know you have been working on it. I saw some of the clips of that. What's going on with that, Chris?
Oh, well, we're in post-production right now. You know, we wrapped it up. We were filming that for like 2 years during the pandemic, which was tough. So we were able to do it. You know, none of the crew or myself, you know, got COVID during the time. You know, we made it out safe and was able to do this whole thing, man. So Wilmington on Fire Chapter 2 is really a continuation from part 1, but we're dealing with Wilmington over 120 years later. We're dealing with Wilmington in the present and showing how the past is still present in the present. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And so we start off, so we started off, man, it's very powerful. Like with the first Wilmington on Fire, it's mostly talking heads and giving history. The second one's completely different. The whole style is changing because we're really focusing more of a verite style, observational style of approach. So we kick it off. I'm gonna give you the intro scene right now.
All right.
So we kick it off, man. You know, so it's the pandemic, right? Everything shut down. The murder of George Floyd happens, Breonna Taylor, and you see these mass movements across the country, you know, about that. And then you see the movement that's happening in Wilmington. So we document the young lady who's behind this movement that was going on, you know, not too long ago, and what they were doing to, you know, bring awareness to all these injustices, not only what happened with George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, but also the atrocities of what happened in 1898 and what's still going on in Wilmington. And so we were out there, man, early on and captured a lot of stuff, man. The police, it was like the purge out there, man. I had 3 cameras going, you know, and it was crazy. You know, they spraying tear gas, hitting us with rubber bullets. This is the first 10 minutes that you're going to get a firsthand account, man, of what was going on, you know, and that's how we kick it off, man. And so it's really focusing on the 3 different areas of change in Wilmington. So you got the protest and grassroots movement that's going on in Wilmington. You got the Black entrepreneurial movement that's going on. So we, interview and document quite a few Black entrepreneurs in the city, and also the education and preserving the history type of movement. My man Cedric Harrison, he actually has a Black History tour bus in Wilmington, and we were there from the beginning when he first bought the bus, putting it together, getting everything ready, and it took like a year to get it, and we were there through the whole process of him getting it together and really putting on these tours to really not only highlighting the city's history and culture, but having us take ownership of it as well. And so that's really what Wilmington on Fire 2 is about, man. Showing the community, the Black community, really saying, you know what, we want to do this. It happened to us. What are we going to do about it? And so we're going to attack it from 3 different ways. We're going to attack it from the grassroots movement, entrepreneurship, and history and culture.
That's what's up, man.
Hey, let me just say this, man. Just that snippet intro, it sounds so intense.
It is.
And that bird's eyes view, just the way you described it, rubber bullets, because those rubber bullets do some damage. Dope. And not just that, man.
I got hit with a few of them.
Yeah. Hey, and I know they did. I seen some damage that it did to a bunch of kids close range. So I know you went home with some hardcore bumps and bruises. But man, it sounds so intense. It's just like in my mind, I'm like, I want to see it.
It was one scene, man. It was another scene too. It was another scene too with the protesters. They called themselves the lowercase leaders. It's young people, man. And they were all inspired by Wilmington on Fire. And I didn't realize it until I started filming the second one, that we actually created a movement and a change in the city. With the first film, a lot of people that were being active, they said, yo, man, your film really opened my eyes to what's going on in the city. I didn't realize it. I just thought like, man, we made a film, it is what it is. And I'm about to do part 2, but I didn't realize it until I started filming the second one that we made a huge impact in the city.
That's strong, man. That's very strong, man. That is strong, man. Hopefully, when it comes out, I'm gonna do like my brother did and get a couple of copies. I might.
Yeah, we're gonna do a whole tour. We're gonna do a whole tour. I know we're gonna do a North Carolina tour. I know Orville, you up there in Minnesota, right?
Yeah, but I like to travel, man.
But I'm thinking about coming up there. I got a couple of connects up there. I would love to do something up there.
Yeah,
I'm there for wherever. And where's your brother
at? He's in. Where you at, John? Mississippi?
I'm in Mississippi right now. Okay. I'm in Mississippi right now.
We come down there too.
Yeah, whenever the tour drop, I don't know. I may be in between either Mississippi, Louisiana, or Georgia. But whenever it drop, man.
Oh yeah, we definitely doing something in Georgia for sure. We definitely doing something in Georgia.
Wherever you are, whatever you want to do, let me know, man. Me and my brother, we both will be on board.
Cool. Excellent.
Yeah, and I've been talking to you already to try to work with you on some things, and it's funny how humble you are on something that made such a big impact. I mean, just watching your documentary and getting to talk to you and how down to earth and open you were. I wanted to get into documentaries. I mean, I'm in school now for digital cinematography, and a large part of that is because I saw what you were doing, and it wasn't just about getting on the camera. It was like, man, I got something to say. I want to be a part of telling the future to the future generation. So that's why I'm on this journey now. But
I appreciate that, man.
Man, some of the things that you've done, and I'm not here to blow up your head, because my little brother will tell you, everything I'm telling you is on point. I've always been a big fan of martial arts. Before I could even take a class, I was doing street fighting based off what I saw in Black Belt Theater. And one of the things that was significant to me on Grandmaster is that, the scene where he's on the mat with Bruce Lee?
Yeah.
All my life, I've been wondering, who's that Black martial artist?
Right. Vic Moore.
Now, everybody else, Benny the Jet, all these other Superfoot Wallace, I know them, seen them, got their posters and stuff, but I never knew who he was until I saw the snippet. And I said, this man is on fire. This dude is you're on the pulse of what we need today, because again, we all know history has been told based on the people that's in charge of the media. And now we have this big opportunity to open up things that maybe we heard about or things we knew about, and we can put it out there.
Right.
And I'm not going to get to all the stuff that I'm looking to do because, man, you've opened a floodgate with me and my brother about things that I want to film. But I definitely want to be a part of it. And this leads into this other thing that I want to talk about, your position with the Southern Documentary Fund.
Yeah.
Can you talk to us a little bit on that?
Yeah, sure. Well, for the past, before I started at Southern Documentary Fund, my position was with the Full Frame Documentary Film Festival. Okay. And it's one of the, it's an international documentary film festival. It's one of the top documentary film festivals in the world, actually. It's a program out of Duke University. And so I was with them for about 3.5 years. I was their communications manager. And then after that, I came to SDF, Southern Documentary Fund, and they've always been supportive of like Wilmington on Fire. I got a small grant from them for Wilmington on Fire 2 and Grandmaster in the past. Okay. And so, they had a position open, man. And like I said, I've always been a huge fan of theirs. They've always supported me. And I just like their mission, of helping Southern documentary makers or people with ties to the South as well, and just telling those type of Southern stories. So they had the position open as program manager. I interviewed and got it, and so I've been doing it ever since. I've been doing it since last August, and we've been rolling, man. So we've been doing a lot of cool virtual programs because we are in COVID. Plus, we represent 12 Southern states, so we can't do a lot of these programs we want to do in every place. So virtual has kind of actually helped us out a lot going virtual. So we're able to do free workshops for folks. And you've checked out a few of them, Orby. Yeah. That we have industry professionals that really giving some good game of how to do documentaries. I know we had one sister, she's like a top music supervisor, and she gave different tips and strategies and ways to license music for your film, how I go about doing that. We just had one not too long ago with Carla Gutierrez. She's a renowned documentary editor. She's edited documentaries that went on with Oscars and everything, man. And so, those are the type of people we've been dealing with, giving free webinars for the documentary community. It doesn't matter whether you're a first timer, experienced, we try to do it all. And then we also provide grants. We do like a grant program once a year. We also provide fiscal sponsorship as well for projects that's looking for that. So we cover the whole spectrum with documentary, but mostly we focus on the South. And really, we're one of the only organizations around like this and that are doing this in the South as well. Most of the organizations you see doing things like this, they're in New York, California, places like that, man. But I'm proud to say that we're here in the South, and I'm glad that we have this platform to help elevate, Southern storytellers.
Yes, sir. Jonathan, you want to try to jump in there, man? I saw you put your hand.
Yeah, I just wanted to say one thing, man. Brother Chris is a man of many hats, man. He wears many hats, and he wear them well. And also about the Grandmaster, man. That name, just Grandmaster. It just it speaks to the Kung Fu era, of course, when we was growing up, And karate was definitely our thing. But just seeing the accomplishments, just one accomplishment amongst many, him being in front of Bruce Lee, I just had to speak on that one because we was all like Bruce Lee fans.
And we got the footage, man. We got some cool, we worked with the Bruce Lee estate, so they licensed us some of that footage. We've gotten some great photos of him and Chuck Norris. It's going to be cool, Chuck man. Too, yeah, man, it's cool. And the thing is, man, the documentaries that I do are mostly North Carolina stories. Wilmington on Fire, Grandmaster Moore, he's originally from Cincinnati, but he lived in Fayetteville since like 1975.
Yeah, so he's from there.
Yeah, so he's been, so like Fayetteville, he's and we focus on Fayetteville in the story a lot because when he moved to Fayetteville, he took over karate school for one of his students because they were in the military. And so they had to go overseas. So he loved the South, was tired of the cold weather in Cincinnati. And so he opened up a school downtown Fayetteville, on Donaldson Street, right off of Hay Street. And the building, it's changed now though, because back then, so the building is gone. So we're working on trying to get a plaque for him for his original location for his school. But, he also had a chimpanzee that trained karate back in the day in Fayetteville. And so we got a lot of footage of that, of everything, man, photos, the whole nine. A lot of people from Fayetteville that time, they remember him with that chimp. They remember Vic Moore with this karate chimp and everything, but they didn't know all the accolades and all that because you didn't have the internet back then. We didn't have all this mass media where you can look up stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be cool, man, to show it. I'm actually going to probably do 2 premieres, one in Fayetteville, one in Cincinnati in his hometown, and his second hometown, Fayetteville. And then after Fayetteville, he went to Wilmington and opened up a karate school. And that building is still there in his old spot. It's near the bus station that was in Wilmington. And the old building structure is still there. And so we actually did a day of filming, taking him back to that location. And just the memories, man, he was just talking about, how the upstairs part was his crib. He had like a little apartment over it. And at the bottom was his actual karate studio. So yeah, but he's still around, man. He's still teaching. And also we focus on these 2 young guys that he's been working with for the past couple of years and really training them up and really elevating, their martial arts skills and talents. And so that's what it's about, also passing that torch to the next generation of martial arts. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fire right there, man. I like that, man.
We're done filming. Awesome. We're actually in post-production with it. So I'm actually working on doing some editing now, actually. I'm going to start doing some more tomorrow. So I'm probably going to do a work in progress showing in a few months, just to get some feedback from the community, see what's working, what's not working. But it's coming. So both Wilmington on Fire 2 and Grandmaster going to be ready by early next year.
And I just want to remind viewers that the things that we're talking about, Grandmaster, they have some teasers on YouTube.
Yeah.
So go ahead and get your taste buds wet, because, man, the stuff that's coming out, especially with Grandmaster, a lot of people don't understand just how bad Mamma Jamma this guy was.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I just got that from some of the stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why I wanted to do it, man. And that's why, I wanted to not only do his story, but it's been a couple other stories I might actually dabble into next, some other Black martial arts documentaries, because, it was all these guys and women back in this era, they were like superheroes. How we hype up, the Black Panther when it came out. These guys were like the Black Panther in our community. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like him, Moses Powell, all these cats, Ron Van Cleef as well. These were like superheroes in our communities because they can do these amazing things. And it was just like, wow. And they were right there in our community. So, so I think, a lot of times we don't know that history because, we just haven't been taught it or hidden it. But I like how hip hop has actually carried a lot of that message and culture, like Wu-Tang and all of that. So I really like what RZA and all them and what RZA continues to do as well. So,
yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah. I was about to say, I think some footage with Grandmaster and that karate chimp, man, that'll go.
We got that. Yeah, we got all that. Boy. Yeah, we got all that. We actually licensed some footage. NBC.
I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, NBC back in the 80s came to Fayetteville and did a special on him and the chimp. We got that. Yeah, we got some of that footage.
I think I saw that as a kid, man. Now I'm thinking about
it. Yeah, I think it was a gift. Yeah.
Again, I know.
Yeah, I think I put a little small snippet of a GIF online. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Chris, I really wish we could talk a lot longer, but I know your schedule is tight, so I want to give this last 3 minutes for you to, bless us with some knowledge or say what you got to say before you go. So I didn't want to chop off. So the floor is yours, man.
Yeah, I just want to say, man, thank you guys for having me on. I enjoyed it. Wish I could go longer, but we'll definitely do a part 2 to it. For sure. But yeah, I just want, folks, if they haven't seen Wilmington on Fire, go to WilmingtonOnFire.com. They can get all the streaming links there. They can find where to get the DVD on there, or if they want to contact me to do a screening or to speak, at their school or church or, whatever, I'm down. So WilmingtonOnFire.com for that. Also, Grandmaster is coming. We're on social media, all the social media platforms. Also, I have a Black Kung Fu Cinema series that we've kind of kicked off. We just kicked it off last night with the Black Dragon's Revenge, man. We was packed in there. Yes, we had the Afro-Japanese food truck that was outside. They, you know what I'm saying? It was flowing, man. I had my man doing his thing with the, DJing for the first couple of hours, getting the, the feel right, the vibe right. So we're doing it again, May 21st with TNT Jackson, and we'll be showing a pre-recorded Q&A with TNT Jackson herself, Jean Bell, right after.
Wow. Hey, and also, for those who can't get to North Carolina, you can watch this virtually too. So
yes.
we'll put that link up there as well.
Yeah, thepinhook.com. Thepinhook.com. You can get your tickets for May 21st screening. Yep. And if you're in Durham, you got any listeners in the Raleigh-Durham area, come to downtown Durham to the Pinhook May 21st. You're going to have a good time. Trust me.
Yes, sir. Man.
Hey, so hopefully I was going to do a big ass while we got him on here.
Now, go ahead.
Hey, hopefully when you release part 2 of Wilmington on Fire, you can come back. And most definitely when you release Grandmaster, man, you got to come back.
Yeah, just
just
hit me up, man. I'm down.
Yeah, that'll be great.
And I'll make sure this time to block out a full hour.
Okay. Hey, look, and I'm going to level it up. Maybe we could be at the premiere. First and fifth Sunday,
that'll be hot
premiere.
right
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, because the premiere of Wilmington on Fire 2 is going to be in Wilmington.
Yeah.
So definitely I'll keep you guys posted so y'all can make arrangements early. Yes, and if y'all want to set up something like a media booth, we'll set it up.
Okay.
And then also, I got a couple of celebrities involved with part 2, that have helped elevate this thing even more. So, I want to keep those names on the low right now, but I'll be releasing those names soon. But it's going to be big, man. The premiere is definitely going to be big. I'm thinking about getting this 1,000-seat venue in Wilmington.
We definitely here for it, man. I definitely want to try to get out there. My brother and I, I've been to Wilmington a couple of times. I think he's been there a couple of times, but to be there and support that, because to me, I'm not going to get too long-winded because I like to talk when I get excited, but supporting what's out there is so important, man. It's not just enough to click and say you saw something. We got to get behind what big things we're doing, because this is legacy building. The stuff we're building now is educating our future. So again, man, thanks so much. We definitely going to keep in contact, and we definitely want to get First and Fifth Son involved where we can, not just to get our name out there, but to show the great stuff that you're doing out there, because it's impactful, man.
Right. Appreciate it.
All right, man.
Thanks so much, Chris, man.
Thank y'all.
All right, brother. We'll definitely be in touch.
All right.
Peace. Damn, where you at?
Man, look at this dude, man. This dude look like Jonathan of the past.
You gotta sit still.
What up, Bob?
Hey, man, you looking good, man. You looking like a 1978 Jonathan.
That's
just like your daddy, man.
Right there. You can sit back a little bit. Sit back. Man. Just go back. Yeah, like come up so you could stay in the camera. All right, so we're gonna cut right to the chase. I'll throw out the first question as far as with my son. This is I'm gonna introduce him first. This is the second
Grandmaster J.
Yeah, the second coming, Jonathan Baker Jr. I can't say I couldn't be more proud of my son and just his presence on this earth. I'm proud of that. But we're gonna cut right to it. Of course, you know him. That's your nephew. You've been around him a couple of times. Jay, you got to make sure you keep your face on the camera.
Hey, he's the grandmaster, man. He know how to disappear on us and stuff, man.
Yeah, him and these nappy locks keep fading into it. All right, well, let's cut right to the chase, though. Jay, I'm gonna ask you the first question about the game. When did you start playing the game first, the video game? When did we buy that game for? How far back can you remember? And what game was it?
The first video game I ever touched was I've been playing games since I was like younger than 4.
Okay.
I've been playing, it was like some type of lit orange thing. I know after that I went to a Wii, then I went to Nintendo DS. Then after that I went to 3DS, then I went back to a Wii. Then I got an Xbox 360, then I got an Xbox One, and then it just kept on.
Okay. Now, a lot of people say, I'm trying to make a point here. A lot of people say, oh, take that game. That all them kids want to do is play that video game. Okay, but now I'm going to make another point. Okay, so how is your grades in school?
A and B's, some C's. I got probably I ain't had a C all year. A and B's. My grades been good all year.
Okay. Now, the next question I'm going to ask, how many, what they call it? Scholarships that you have so far?
About 15. I had got another one the other day from that Sale University thing for like gaming creators.
Right.
Yeah, so that's about 16, 17.
Hold
Okay,
on.
so-
Was that Full Sail University?
Yeah, it's full.
That's my people, man. That's where I'm going to school.
There you go.
I got one from there.
Full Sail.
Orlando.
Right. Okay,
Yeah.
so here's the next question I'm gonna ask. How many hours you think you play the game in the course of a week?
Well, I ain't running track no more, so probably like really lately I ain't really had time because I've been taking care of grandma, but like usually it probably like hours, probably like, man, that's a lot. Probably like I stay on there a little bit, probably like from like 3, 4 something to like 10, 4 to 10.
So what is that?
11.
That's about
4 to 11 probably every day. And then on the weekends, I play just all day.
Okay, so that's 7 hours. So he roughly played the game over I say over 30 hours a week, right?
Yeah.
But still in all, I think that him playing a video game enhances memory, and he's still able to, be a AB student.
Yeah.
And he's in the 11th grade, and he's able to focus and continue to focus and incline, just by, I'm not going to say just by playing the game, but while playing the game. So to me, I think the game is not bad for the young kids. I think it actually helped them out. And with everything going on in the streets today, it kind of keep them out of the way, depending on what area you live in, But that's just my take. I'm pointing out all the good things that I find with my son about the games. Other people gonna have different things for different kids, but I'm talking about, Jay and his gaming situation.
Well, I want to punch this out there, John, because we're getting close to our 2-minute mark. For anybody out there that's believing that these games are a waste of time for the kids and stuff, I'm here to tell you from the military point of view, you need to invest in your kids knowing these games and stuff. But a lot of technology that we have in the military is kind of game-based. A lot of stuff that we're talking about when we talk about the metaverse and stuff, that's all
Right.
game-based. So if you don't understand it, if you still using a rotary phone at the house and you like to holler out the door for somebody to come instead of use your cell phone, that's cool. Be cool to yourself. But don't underrate and don't berate these kids on these computers, because they're going to be the ones punching them buttons to take care of us when we're in our 80s and 90s. So big up to you, Jay. Keep playing them games. And don't forget old Uncle Harvey when you get famous, man. Because I'm just bragging on you. I'm going to be coming to see you. That's my nephew right there. Let me in.
Right on.
I got you.
All right, fam. We got 2 minutes and 20 seconds left on the free Zoom. We're going to have to talk to Zoom about getting us some more time. What's y'all last minute fire before we go ahead and shut down or get shut down?
Got something to say? Shout out?
Nah. Shout out Jayla. She back there.
What up,
Yeah,
Jayla?
Shout out my baby girl, Jayla Baker, baby.
She's sitting back there thinking about stuff.
All right, bro. That's about it, man. So
Well,
I guess
man,
they gonna cut it totally off or what?
Yeah, they just shut it off like to end the recording. They ended for us. So we got 1 minute and 30 seconds left. But I might be able to work that out, like I said, to try to get back on the long time. But in the meantime, welcome to season 2, everybody.
Season 2 is definitely in effect and interviews are happening.
And we're gonna have some more big stuff coming too. So you better stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Don't miss out.
Yeah.
Don't miss out.